Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It is time for Taroscopes. Again, this will be the Taroscopes for the month of March 2023 for the sign of Sag. That's Sag Rising, Sag Moon, Sag Sun, Sag North Node, maybe. This is for you, or this may resonate for you, or it may not, but might have to watch it a little bit later in the month. And I'm going to be using the Druid Craft deck, the Druid Craft Tarot. So, March, we've made it to March, and big changes in March. Astrologically, we have two really big changes. The first is the planet Saturn, which has been transiting through Saturn-ruled signs since it entered Capricorn back in, was it 2019? 2019. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in a sign, sometimes 3. Spent about 3 years in Capricorn and about 3 years, give or take, in Aquarius. It's about ready to move out of Aquarius, and it will spend a little less than 3 years in Pisces, moving into Pisces on the 7th of March, and then going to be in Pisces until 2026. We also have Pluto, the planet of transformation, of death and rebirth, a generational planet, as it were, moving into Aquarius for the first time in 248 years. So for Sagittarius, the move into Pisces is a bit of a challenge. Sagittarius, the sign of Sagittarius is square the sign of Pisces. So if any Sagittarius planets will have Saturn squaring them. And the square that Saturn has in relationship to Sagittarius is a crisis in action. So good news for you, Sagittarius. The Sagittarius love action, but it's about action to build foundations for sort of new a new way of living your life, interacting with other people. This sort of goes back to the time when Saturn was in your sign, Sagittarius. And that happened, I believe it was, do I want to say, when was, I think I want to say it was 2016 and 17. So Saturn was in Sag 2015, 16, 17. So it was conjunctured Sagittarius planets. And now we've reached 90 degrees from many of those planets. And so this is the crisis in action. And so, but the seeds were planted back in 2016, 2017. Okay. And you're taking action on those seeds now. Okay. And then Aquarius, Pluto moving into Aquarius. Aquarius is your Aquarius Capricorn. Sag Capricorn is your third house of mind. And so you're going to be having a transformation of the way that you think. Now, we're going to have Pluto in Aquarius for a short time, and then it's going to go back into Capricorn. Once it goes back into Capricorn, it finishes up Capricorn, and then next year it goes into Aquarius for most of the year, and then the next year it's in, and then it's there for like 20 years. So we're talking about long-term shifts. And Aquarius is in relation to your planet, Sagittarius. um, is sextile. And so this sort of opens up like a whole new world for Sagittarius. Sagittarius are the explorers, and there's a whole like levels of consciousness that will continue to be as our consciousness expands. We will actually expand. Sagittarius will have, it's not just about climbing mountains. It's going to be also about climbing vibrational frequency. So it's pretty exciting for the Sag. Sag always likes an adventure and always likes to be on the move. And there's going to be plenty of things to be adventurous and on the mood, on the move for when Pluto moves through Aquarius for the next 20 years. As far as your sign, your ruler of your sign, Jupiter, is in Aries, and we have a conjunction this month between Aries and Chiron. This conjunction only happens about every 14 years. Sometimes it's a little bit different, depending, a little longer than that. But generally, every 14 years, these two planets come together, and it's an expansion on the wound, either in relationship to healing it, or in relationship to acting from it and re-wounding. So it's in Aries. It's the wound around identity. It's the wound around bullying, around abuses of power, physical altercations, guns. And even for those who can't stand up for themselves, this is an opportunity to heal, right? So it's a big deal that it's a big deal that Jupiter, your ruling planet, is coming together with Chiron. And it is in Aries, which is a fire planet like yours. So the energy comes through trines, which is much easier to have to deal with. So the healing, I think, is going to be even more profound for you. And maybe all the struggles, although Saturn's going to be squaring you. So you're going to have to do something, but that has more to do with the actual, like, what you're doing every day. How do you build your life kind of thing, like really like practical. And then there's the less earthly areas that are really going to expand with this shift in energy. So expect some pretty amazing things to come down the pike. All right, so let's look at you for this month, Sag. Jupiter ruled sign, optimistic, opinionated, sure, certainty. That word certainty, that's a Sagittarius thing. So Sagittarius are often certain. Let's see how certain you can be this month. So we start the month with the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is about divine discontent. It's kind of about being bored. Like sometimes it's seen as the idle rich. If you happen to be one of those, well, then this is you. But if you don't happen to be the idle rich, it could just be you're in a situation that you don't find emotionally fulfilling. And part of the reason is because you're just going over the same territory all the time. You're not looking for other things that are being offered. This deck insinuates that there is a cup right around the corner if you get up off your lazy butt and go find it. Of course, nobody with a Sagittarius anything has a lazy butt because you guys like being on the move, but be willing to look around and see what else is being offered at this time that you're just not quite aware of yet. So that's where you are. You're kind of like, more of the same. Oh my God, when is anything going to change? When is justice going to happen? Oh my God, when am I going to be able to afford eggs again? It's kind of earth-shattering questions that we ask ourselves. There is opportunity. You just have to look for it. The challenge is death and rebirth. The challenge is to be born anew. If you're not satisfied with the situation you find yourself in, it's time to be reborn. But that's scary. because that requires you to maybe get out of a comfort zone. The Four of Cups is kind of like a comfort zone. Um, but it's sort of like, well, it's always been like this. You know, my relationship with so-and-so has always been like this, so that's the way it's going to be, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. And when in point of fact, you don't. You can do something to change it, but then there's the fear of losing that person. So it's this energy of like wanting to feel better about things, but being a little bit resistant and afraid of really having to wake up to something that maybe you're not quite ready to wake up to. Let's see what's underneath it all. We have the Eight of Wands. Well, what's underneath it all is that the information is starting to move. Things are coming to your attention. Maybe you looked for that extra cup and you found something you weren't expecting. But yeah, so the energy is moving. The mind is moving. His mind is moving. And I feel like it's these ideas, this creativity is starting to like foment, uh, just like underneath the surface of things. And it's making you like get a little bit nervous about having to give something up, perhaps, or let go of something that you kind of know you have to. In the past, we have the Four of Swords. This is rest, relaxation. So you've had time to rest, to recuperate. And that's probably why things started, ideas started flowing again, because you gave yourself the opportunity, maybe not to be burnt out about something, or not to be burnt out, period. Let's see what's in the sky. The High Priest. This is the Hierophant card in this deck. This is about wisdom. Spirit wants you to share your wisdom. Share your wisdom. This is about your constitution, your body, the body politic, what holds it all together. It's a Taurus card. Uranus is in Taurus, so that could also indicate that we could see more, because the Sky card, the card that's up the top, is often messages from spirit. So this Taurus card here with Uranus and Taurus says that, that it's very possible that there'll be more geological disruption. But I would say beyond that, because you could say that about any time, because it's always happening, right? But beyond this is about sharing your wisdom and listening to the small still voice, and trusting the inner voice as opposed to the outer voices. We have in the immediate future the Three of Swords. Yeah, this is heartbreak. I feel like there's something that you need to do, but you're putting it off. But it's not going to be able to be put off much any longer. You have to do it. You have to do it, or it's going to be done for you. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak, but it's also about freeing you from a situation that it's possible that your heart or fear about losing love disrupted your life, so that you actually lost love. But this is the immediate future. And on the other side of it, there's always a lesson that needed to be learned. This card doesn't come up unless it's necessary on some level. How it's seen from the outside, that you have a lot of potential. And I'll see if I can fix this. Okay, that's good, right? The Ace of Pentacles. This is a great card. The bear coming out of the cave, right? It's very similar to this card, right? The child coming out, the newborn, right? Out of hibernation. You have been in hibernation. This is in the past, right? So people see you as prosperous with a lot of potential, but with the Ace of Pentacles, it's not a guarantee of success, because you have to work for it. Pentacles, you actually have to do something. But of course, you will. So people see you as learned, successful, with a lot of potential. Your domestic situation, we have some argumentation here. The Five of Wands is probably, of all the fives, probably the nicest one in the deck, because while fire is stimulated by change, and creativity is stimulated by, combatants. And so the issue here is there can be so many ideas and everybody thinks they're right at the same time. So there's arguments, right? Look, my idea is better, my idea is better, my idea is better. You like settle down and put those ideas together. It's a good it's a good thing. But there is some sort of back and forth, you getting some flack in home, or it's a creative, but maybe a little bit agitated. It's a little agitated. Your home is agitated. Your hopes and fears, the Three of Cups, friends. This is a friendship card. Are you afraid of your friends? Do you think your friends are a bad influence on you? Or do you need a friend? COVID has isolated many of us. We've lost a lot of friends because of lines in the sand that have been drawn over and over again over different things. It wasn't always the same thing. But we've also lost touch because we couldn't see them or whatever, and it was a very internal time. So we're coming out of that, and you need to go out with your friends. And we have the Strength card at the end here. So this is also a great card because it helps to, I think, mitigate some of this Three of Swords energy, to let you know that you have the strength, and that this is part of a lesson that you need to learn at this time, so that you can further and you can become more actuated as a person. We have the Fool here. Hold on, I'll wait for this. Normally I would just continue to talk, but because you have to see the card, I wanted to wait. We have underneath it all, we have the Fool. So this is you, a rebirth. The rebirth, whether you want it or not, it's here. So here you go. The Seven of Wands, this is about having a perspective, seeing what's coming, having a view of the land. And the Queen of Cups, this is the psychic queen, the compassionate queen. This is the therapist queen. Tea and sympathy, or more likely tea and empathy. So this is about taking what you do to the next step. If things are feeling stagnant, it's because you need to let something go. That which you are not willing to let go of will be taken from you, so to speak, in the energy of the Three of Swords. But it is not anything that on some level you didn't know you needed to change, or something needed to change in that situation. So, but it's not easy. So it looks like you're going to have a very interesting month, Sagittarius. All right, so as a special sort of thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to pull an oracle card, keeping in mind Saturn and Pluto changing signs. So let me get the oracle card. I'll be right back. So I'm going to be using the Spirit of the Wheel deck, and I'm going to read from the book. So this is for Sagittarius, Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising, for the month of March. With like an eye toward the big astrological changes that are happening this month. We have cleansing, spirit path of the north, releasing burdens, detoxification, and energy flow. 29. See what I'm reading. Okay, it says the cleansing card signifies a time to release some of your heavy burdens and responsibilities. Cleansing means detoxifying on every level, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Over time, burdens create negativity and fatigue, which continue to build up if we do not release them and breathe and breathe our way into a cleaner, healthier lifestyle. Take a few deep breaths, Sagittarius. Learn to live in the moment and to move along with life circumstances instead of fighting them. Sometimes we cannot change the circumstances that occur within our lives, but we have control over our own reactions. Let things unfold now, even if you are fearful of what lies ahead. Interesting. Delegate some of your responsibilities you have recently taken on. Respect and nurture yourself by setting your own personal boundaries. This means helping others only when you are not sacrificing yourself in the process. Cleansing yourself will make room for more positive, healthier energy flow. And your prayer is, I'll do this so you guys can see it. Such a pretty card. Okay. Your prayer. It is, I open my mind, body, and spirit to the cleansing I need. Through the release of my burdens, I am more open to love and support of myself and others. That is your message, Sagittarius. All right. Well, I'll see you next month. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful month. Check out my astrology and Kabbalah of the month. And for those interested in Kabbalah, I am doing an introduction to Kabbalah that is starting on the 6th of March. That's a Monday. It's going to be from 7 to about 8:30 for 6 consecutive Mondays. You don't have to be in the class to get the class because I send the class out after the class has been done. And you can sign up for that on my website, thesiegeoftransformation.com. Go to the events page. It's the only event there. And you can click on it and register and join us. I will probably need folks to join. I probably have to put a limit at 24 hours before the class because I have homework that I have to do for the class. So the sooner you can get in the class, the better for me that I can get everything I need to get together to get started with you. So if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll see you next month, or I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you next week. I'm sure I'll see you. Take care, everyone. Namaste. Much love.